Good afternoon to everybody. Thank you for introducing me. I'm representing here the Institute for Transport and Logistics. This is the work that we have been dealing with the regional government that is here present at this very good meeting. Yeah, we are trying to give you regional perspective of the urban policy. And we have a good experience in such way since years, let's say more than 10 years. We are dealing with projects about city logistics, and we are supporting the regional government in this sense. As you see here, we have two main logos because ITL is involved and the regional governor are both involved in both projects, Novelog and Success. And let's say, all have the same habits at the very end, are the same challenges, so to reduce CO2 emission and try to rationalize traffic flows in the city center. This is common practice and well-known topic as well. Few words about our region. As you can see in the map on the left side, we are very key region embedded in the transport network to European level. We are characterized by on the seaside on the right, but also characterized by commercial traffic from the north to the south. So this is key point also for our topics. Of course, as a region, we are very specific characteristic in manufacturing and a lot of services that are concentrated in the region as well. So the topic of understanding what are the possibilities to improve short traffic in our regional context and specific in our city is key for us. Now let's go to the topic of our speech. Okay. First question, why city logistics in the Emilia-Romagna region? We have to deal with the topic of congestion. As you can see from this traffic, most of the freight traffic are within short distances, let's say 50 kilometers. So we have a lot of manufacturing, we have a lot of intra-regional traffic and traffic with destiny or regional within the region. So we have to deal with urban congestion, and we have to deal with deliveries and distribution around the city. Wherever, I think, in Europe we have more or less the same topic to solve. So we have cargoes that are not fully loaded, so we have empty space, and we have the possibility also with policies that the regional government and the municipality as well are trying to deal with to solve or try to go in the right direction to reduce, let's say, the empty travel and rationalize the traffic congestion in the city. Second point is pollution. Of course, road transport is strongly impacting in our, let's say, negative effect caused by the transport of freight goods. So based on this, I would like to give you a different perspective than one of the city already had this morning and all these speeches, but this is a perspective of the regional government. We have a very good best practice in the region Emilia-Romagna because there is a lot of experience in trying to coordinate, try to stimulate the dialogue between the municipalities. A lot of policy planning and instruments are there serving the city and trying to guide the city in the process of better planning and better regulating also the freight traffic with a very final scope, of course, to make our city livable, to make our cities free from congestion and pollution as well. We have integrated regional transport planning that is the main instrument at disposal from the region for long-term planning. It's very fine scope is, of course, that of guide the cities in, let's say, how to better plan mobility. We also have a very strong contribution from the integrated air quality program for air, which is the one on the left side, that is also dealing with reduction of emission and try to finance also through financing also the renewable fleet, trying to push the introduction of more electrical vehicles. So these are, let's say, communicate each other in the long lasting period and in the planning of the regional policies. There is also a sort of competence center for plannings that started years ago and is trying to support the city in the planning of SAMP and trying also to guide also the topic of logistics in this planning. We deal already at the regional level with the topic of the regulatory for LTZ access control permission and so on. We also have a very specific let's say, important collaboration between several key stakeholders, like the research, like the business company, and like the policy, because all collaborate to define long-lasting plans, also to stimulate the dialogue between the private and the public and parties. This to stimulate research, also dealing with city logistics. This is embedded in this. Well, this is let's say the process that brought also to the activity that we have implemented in Novelog. There is to say that we have an excellence activity and history in Emilia-Romagna that is about city logistics. Since years, the regional government work on access control, load factor, and emission reduction. But this had the practice, let's say, a concrete result in 2013, because after a period of consultation, dialogue between the main municipality of the regional region, with the support of ITL also, there was an agreement between the city, signed between the city and the regional government to fix specific rules for giving, let's say, fixing rules for operator to enter in the urban area. It's, for instance, as we can see later, fixing agreement on time windows for LTZ access and fixes the minimum requirement in terms of pollution for the means. This was a process that was and easy, let's say, because it's continuing very difficult. But with Novel, we had the chance to work more on permits, request simplification, trying to introduce also novelty in terms of digital added value for the municipality and for the operators. Well, this is another key point that is more important, is introducing our regional perspective, as the region has since year created sort of federated regional services that try to embed and coordinate and provide to the user, also to the citizen, several services to have a unique access point at the regional level. Also, based on this experience, what we try to do is to make a further step on harmonization of LTZ permission in the city center of the region, and specifically we dealt with the analysis and preparation of a prototype for, let's say, for transport operator to better access and request their permits. Of course, the process is based on the request from the same transport operator that claim the fact they have to work in many cities, they have to go in the city center of many cities, but each of the city have different permission requests, have different way to request. Some of them have still paper, some other have digital access to some of the permit, but it's very complicated. So this was an opportunity to further study this. Of course, the case study was, let's say, in parallel analyzing two main issues. One was how to harmonize the access permission in terms of type of permit, type of information that each of the city has to ask to the operator. On the other way, try also to provide a better access point for the operator. So what we want to try to provide is a unique access point at regional level for all the operator, permitting them to avoid, to skip and to surf within the websites and so on of the many cities in the region. So try to simplify also with this unique access point the request for new permits, for verification of the available existing permits and so on. Yeah. Okay, main actor of this activity, apart from let's say the operator, have the key players, because who provide the service is expected. The main portion is provided by the Emilia-Romagna region, and municipality hire, let's say, the back part of the service, maintaining their let's say administrative key, let's say, point on the services. So what we did is more or less what I tried to explain. The idea so is to provide this unique added access point where the transport operator can verify their permits, request new permits, or modify the permits. These are the goals that we try to study and to, let's say, verify with the stakeholder as well. And we have the impression and also the feeling that several added points are to be reached. And first of all, in terms of course, harmonization, digitization of the services. There is more possibility for the policy to, let's say, to better planning, reduce of paper, and try to also reduce at regional level the cost for providing new added IT services. This is, let's say, very okay. This is the schema that is trying to represent the access point for the user, the business operator, okay, and to the regional partner, you can connect to the service of the municipalities. And this is the idea that, let's say, stay behind this prototype. Is a process that is not easy, because some of the municipalities are ready, some other need to be guided and push a little bit in this process, but it's very interesting. Okay, these are some slides, okay, presented our idea. Okay, that's it. We also think that working on this challenge, let's say, is just the first step, because we look at urban mobility in the city center, so inner city, but there is a lot to do also in small municipalities, part of the functional urban areas, or there are several possibilities to extend the process and this idea also at the regional level in other small contexts. Okay, thank you from both of us. Thank you.